And welcome to another edition of Two Dudes and a Mexican. I'm your host, Victor Salazar, joined by my co-host, some dude named Peter Clark,
Yo, what up, what up?
and always joined by the resident Mexican, David Quinones.
Orale, mi gente.
Well, quarantine life's almost over, boys. I hope you guys are doing well. With that being said, quarantine life is almost over. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. That's a bad thing.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, being that the country's going crazy everywhere. But what I do know is that sports is coming back.
Yeah.
NHL recently announced this week that they were coming back with a 2014 playoff format.
Like it.
I like it because the Rangers are in the playoffs.
Exactly.
If anything else, there'll be playoff sports in New York.
Yeah.
The Rangers, let's talk less about the Rangers, but the format is basically the first four seeds get a bye.
Mm-hmm.
I believe 5 through 12 have to play each other depending on the seeding.
Yep.
And it's a best of 5 series, and then we'll get into the conventional best of 7 series after that.
Yep.
They're looking at a date to start training camps in July, and then it's just full throttle ahead. Commissioner said that they might end the season by September. The plan is to end the season by August, September. And at least for the most part, fellas, and I'm going to start with you, Pete, we have sports in the U.S.
Yeah, finally.
I saw you seeing the press conference, tweeting about the press conference. Tell me what you heard that I didn't explain already.
Most of the stuff has been explained. The only other thing is that they will be reseeding. So if there's a couple upsets in that initial qualifying round, and if you're the worst seed and you upset the higher seed, you're still going to be playing against probably the top seed. So it will be reseeding. It's not just like straight bracket thing. So that's probably the only thing. And also the other thing is that all these games are going to be in 2 main cities. There's going to be 2 main hub cities. So all the teams from the Eastern Conference and all the teams from the Western Conference are going to play in one city. So they're pretty much quarantined in one city. So that's the big thing, that to try to make sure that if anybody catches something, they can quickly catch it, like what UFC did when the one fighter pretty much got tested positive. They removed them, and that was it. So that's why they want everybody in the same city.
Hey, what are your thoughts on this? And I guess us as regular working class people should we feel good about this and different about this, especially since we don't know still what's going on with the virus and how essentially this is all going to end?
I feel that it's a little indifferent on it, and obviously everybody is happy that there's sports back. However, I mean, they're using a large amount of tests on the athletes. And the regular working man, there's some of those people that can't get tests. I mean, yes, they keep saying that there's more tests available, but I mean, if you see 50 tests going towards athletes, that's a lot of tests per week, no matter what sport they're using, and that's 50,000 tests. That's going to be less than the normal person's going to be able to get.
I guess in quarantine, Pete, you turn into Dave because I asked Dave that question.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry.
I lost my hearing in quarantine.
I guess you lost your hearing in quarantine, or might have been curbside pickups. He might have had curbside pickups with Sam Darnold and Hoboken.
Yeah, that's not starting yet.
I don't know. But Dave, let me get your thoughts on it, since Pete, basically said he was you.
I mean, listen, I like how you put it, man. We're the working class, so I mean, these are the things that we need in our lives. Like you said before, man, like the country's going crazy. The spotlight isn't just on other things. So when you have sports in your life, it's like a stress reliever, right, for your life. You know what I'm saying? Because life isn't easy, man. Work is tough. I mean, bills are tough. I mean, when you got stuff going on in your life, it's tough. But you need these sports. I think it's a big step, for hockey to come back. It's going to be tough though, because, like Pete said it, you talk about testing, but I think the big picture is, prevention. I mean, preventing it right from the beginning, taking those measures, taking those steps, and you're never going to know how good this thing works until you actually implement the plan, work out the deficiencies, see what you can improve, and then go forward. So I'd like to see, What happens if a team becomes infected, and then, you know, locker rooms, guys. You know, if somebody becomes infected and infects a locker room, then what do you do with the team? What do you do with the tournament? How do you proceed with the playoffs and so on and so forth? So definitely like to see, you know, what's in place.
All right, I'm going to ask this to Peter and only Peter.
Where's Peter? Is he going to be Peter this time? Or?
I don't know. You tell me. With that being said, obviously the Rangers were on a hot streak before we left in March. I believe the last game I saw of the Rangers was when Mika Zibanejad scored 5 goals against the Washington Capitals. It was crazy. I see it on NHL Network. They pretty much show it once a week. And I always tune in at least for the third period to overtime because I just thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was a back and forth game. Ovechkin was being Ovechkin, tied the game up, go to overtime. Zibanejad gets his 5th. Like we thought it was over with his 3rd. Then he gets his 4th to take the lead. And then in overtime he gets his 5th, which is a crazy game. I wish I would have been there. Where does that leave our Rangers, Peter? Because it looks like we were hot. You know, Igor was injured. So that means he's going to come back.
Yes.
And Igor definitely needs to be the number 1 guy in this. I love Lundqvist. You know, I hope maybe if he, as a backup, he wins a ring with us because he deserves that, being a, you know, kind of like the Patrick Ewing of the New York Rangers now. Yeah. But where does that leave the Rangers now? I mean, the young kids, they're no longer young. They've played a whole season. And they're ready. I think they're ready, man. I think this is good for us.
Yeah, I think you actually hit the nail on the coffin where, you know what, these guys that were young guys, whether Kakko and how he started out, this is going to look like his second season. This isn't going to look like a continuation. He's still a rookie. Like, he's taken a break off. He's worked on whatever he's got to work on. And this is going to be like the start of his second season, which is when we expected him to explode. So this is actually great for them. Igor was in there. He was starting out great. Now he was hurt when play stopped. Now he's back healthy. So you got a healthy goaltender who's been hot all year. You got young players to go with. Panarin, who's been one of the most top 5 in hockey this year. I mean, I think this sets up perfectly for them. I mean, if Igor gets hot, they can really go on a long run during the playoffs.
And Dave, knowing sports as you know them, the Rangers are the youngest team, I believe, in hockey outside of the Devils. Mm-hmm. So while some teams that are favored and might be a little older have to do a whole training camp again, and they might be tired from, you know, the long season that ended in March. How do you think in terms of body-wise, like the older teams are going to do? Because, you know, there's a lot of teams that are good, but they're a lot older. Do you think this favors the younger teams that, you know, basically don't have anything to lose and aren't the favorites and have fresh legs, essentially?
I mean, I think it could favor, you know, the younger teams. But, I mean, listen, you know, behind closed doors, you know, we got to see, like, you know, who was doing their work, who was maintaining in shape. And I think that's a lot of people's concerns right now. Whether you talk about hockey, whether you talk about basketball, baseball, what type of shape are these players in? Because guys, let's be for real here, man. You know, as a professional athlete, you got to be in tip-top shape, no matter what sport, especially hockey, man. Where I mean, physicality is ridiculous. So I mean, I think it can favor the young, as long as they needed to do what they needed to do. Listen, it could favor the old too. I mean, give them that time to rest, recoup, get those, you know, injured players, you know, back into circulation, especially the key players that you need. So I think moreover, it definitely will favor the younger players, like a team like the Rangers. But again, I hope they were staying in shape. I hope they were doing what they needed to do in order to stay ready for game time. So,
speaking of staying in shape and working out, I just got done with a workout. That's the reason I'm sweating like a hooker at church right now. And I have this lighting on me, and it's just multiplying the sweat. I feel like Sean Miller right now when he was sweating through his suit.
Oh man!
But I got my situation.
He was swimming after he was in that suit.
You know, I got my boy the Situation Jersey Shore shirt. You know, I'm sporting. I'm on my road to being the new Big Daddy Sitch. The comeback is always greater than the setback. So, you know, but I'm sweating bullets right now. So don't mind that camera.
Everybody likes a good comeback story.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, next time you see me, bro, you're gonna see, you know, Big Daddy Vic instead of Big Daddy Sitch, Big Daddy Vic. So, but I'm working out. That's why I'm sweating. So don't mind the sweat. Pete, I'm gonna leave this last hockey question for you.
Yeah.
where do you think the Rangers end up in these playoffs? How far do you think it can go?
I'm going to say, because I do think they're going to get by Carolina in the first round, who's already complaining about the playoffs.
Oh, I think we're beating them in four, maybe sweep.
So I think they're already going to move on to the second round. So they're probably going to be playing the top seed or the second seed. I think they can maybe get one more round to get to the Eastern Conference semifinals, but I think eventually by then they'll have enough top teams that'll knock them out. But
Listen,
that's a great experience to have those young players get to the Eastern Conference Finals. That'd be huge for them.
listen, as long as Boston doesn't win,
Oh my gosh!
I'm okay with
I know.
it.
I want to play them because you know what? They played them. They played them in the middle of the year, and it was a real close game, and that was without Igor. So I think Boston's been one of the top team in the East all year. I think the Rangers can actually beat them.
I mean, we'll see. And Pete, I gotta say, I can't wait till we get to be live, so we don't have to see the glare of your laptop on your glasses because it's driving me nuts right now. So hopefully, when we're live, we can get rid of that, and you don't have to see me profusely sweating.
All right, you gotta get me contacts or something.
Yeah, you know what? Where's Hob? Is it in the budget? I don't know. I think.
Yeah, give me some
I think
contacts.
Hob did his own thing. I think Hob took a solo show on his own or something. Like, he just doesn't show up anymore.
Yeah, he's starting his own show.
I think he is too, man. Dave, what's up with your boy, man? Where's he at, man?
He's at Costco buying his wine right now.
Producer.
Producer's an essential worker, so I think he's tired of people. So I don't think he wants to deal with people anymore.
Yeah,
that's why totally fine.
Tired of the public.
Dave, so with the NHL coming back, you would normally think that the NBA is coming back. But before we get into the NBA, I want to specifically focus on Damian Lillard. One day he's saying that if we don't have a chance to make the playoffs, I don't want to come back. Yeah. Another day he's saying, whatever the NBA has planned, okay, I'm with it. Where we at with D. Lillard right now, Dave? I know he's one of the best players in the NBA, but he's frankly pissing me off. Is he pissing you off?
Listen, I mean, look, he is one of the best players in the NBA, and I respect him as a player. But listen, it's tough, guys. I mean, in one hand, like we'll be talking about, man. I mean, we need sports back in our lives. You don't know how these athletes feel, though, especially when it comes to money, when it comes to how the games is going to be played, the format, this and that. I mean, listen, you hear about Max Scherzer now talking about all this stuff on Twitter and baseball. Blake Snell, obviously comes to mind with getting his full pay and putting his body on the line possibly. I mean, listen, guys. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's tough, and to be honest with you, nobody expected obviously a COVID pandemic like this to take so many lives. So sometimes these players, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just got to get back into into reality as well, just like us, in order to start functioning correctly and thinking correctly. So I mean, you see a lot of people putting a lot of stuff, a lot of crazy stuff out there, on social media, on Twitter. I think we just got to get back to normalcy, man. Get back into the flow of things, so your body can get back into some type of routine, some type of rhythm. I think that's the biggest thing.
I think Dave's daughter pressed the camera button. So I don't see him anymore.
I'm back to being the second Dave.
I guess so. Well, here's the thing I don't like about what Damian Lillard said. Right? He's employed by the NBA, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if the NBA says we're having a season, then you have to play.
Yeah.
It's like your boss telling you, well, cool, there's a pandemic, but if you want your job, you still have to come in.
Yeah.
So for all this, belly aching about player salaries in this, and I don't take anything away from the players. They can get what they want if they're entitled to it. Like, we'll get into baseball later and how their commissioner is just retarded. But if we're talking about players and they're making millions of dollars, and I understand that there is this fear of what this this virus is, and there is this fear of moving your family to Phoenix, Las Vegas, Florida, wherever they intend to play these games.
Yeah.
But that's your employer. I mean, if that's the case, then you can quit, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to play, you can quit.
Yeah, you could take $0 instead of taking the prorated amount.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's not about the money, but if it came down to an extension and Dame Lillard wanted more money, he would tell us, you know what? It's like you getting a promotion and you would want more money. Yeah. So it's the same thing. We're employed just like you. Well, now that it's taking a negative turn on him, and I really just don't want to hear from him, Pete.
Yeah.
I just really don't. If if what's the dude's name? The dude that what is it? Adam Smith? What's his name?
What that
Commissioner of
what?
the NBA. Commissioner of
Adam
the NBA.
Silver.
Adam Smith. I don't
Adam
know where I got
Silver.
that from. If Adam Silver says, "Listen, man, we coming back. You either gonna play or you're not. You're not gonna get paid. That's
Yeah.
it." I mean, what are your thoughts on Dame Lillard and what I mean? Listen, I like Dame Lillard. He's a semi good rapper too. So
Yeah, yeah. Yes. I think the most important part about his statement is he talked about if we don't have a chance at the playoffs, I don't want to play. And I think with that, I think that a lot of fans don't care if he's obviously the people that would pay to go to the games, but we're not going to have fans at games. So in terms of him not playing, I don't think it's really a big deal because there's a lot of teams that when they don't have a chance to make the playoffs, they rest their guys anyway, and they call it the load management, and they fake injuries to
oh God.
all that stuff. So it's just a continuation of that. That is pretty much is the continuation of the load management. He just stupidly said it out loud. But all the things that he's doing with all the teams that are eliminated, they're going to be resting their stars anyway because they're going to be like, why are we playing our stars for the last 15 games of the year and we can't make playoffs? So they're going to be doing it anyway. He just said it out loud by mistake. Or not by mistake, but
A
stupid.
mistake. So you're all right with him saying what he's saying?
No, he shouldn't have said it, but I understand
Okay.
it was going to happen.
All right. So listen, Dave. I'm sorry. Just whatever, man. I'm gonna just move on. I'm just a little frustrated with him. I'm just a little frustrated with him, man. I really am. Like, if my boss tells me you got to come to work, I'm coming to work, man. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
You
the
know?
thing, guys. Listen, I mean, you know, to put it, truthfully, I mean, he does have a choice, though. I mean, he doesn't have to come to work, like you guys said. I mean,
Yep.
means of making money, or if he's got enough money in the bank, he doesn't. I mean, but yeah, you guys are right. From a fan standpoint, yeah, you're right. We don't want to hear that shit. Like I said, we want to get back to normal, man. Put our sports back. Even if we can't attend these games, at least it's something to do on TV. At least it's something to do, at your home. Get a couple beers, invite a couple friends over or family, and just watch a game. I think we just need some type of normalcy back in our lives.
Yeah.
I think I don't mind him saying it, but he can't have it both ways when it comes to a contract situation. And then he says he deserves more money, and like all the players say, like, if you feel like you're worth more money at a job, then you're gonna go to a different job. Like, that's what free agency essentially is in a nutshell for the most part. So you just can't have it both ways if you want to, play the normal part, because NBA people are humans, obviously, but they don't live normal lives. They don't make normal types of money.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that. I'll get back to you, Peter. Tell me what you've been hearing since you've been texting us. What's the NBA doing? When are they coming back? What's going on?
Well, the plan is for them right now to come back on July 22nd. That'll be the time when they really can get going. That's when they would start the end of their season. They still haven't announced how they want to conduct the playoffs yet. So I think it's going to be very similar to what they did with the hockey, where you may see a top four advance into like a second round or get a bye, and then you'll see the others play against each other. So you may still see some good matchups that'll be short series for 5 games. It'll be like old school when the first round used to be five best of 5 series. So I think it'll be very similar to how the NHL did it. But I think they're going to come back and play a couple games at the end of the season. I think they'll end the regular season and do it the same way as hockey, where you'll start automatically in a qualifying round.
What about the rumor that they were going to do like the 20 best teams between both conferences and have like a round robin and kind of like the World Cup does?
Yeah, I think the only way that they're going to do that is if they decide to have a hub in one city, because if they're going to do that, because the thing with hockey is that they're going to have the 12 teams in two different cities. If you're going to have 20 teams or have 24 teams for the NBA and do something like that, they all got to be in the same city. That's a lot to put under one city to have the amount of space for that many teams. So I don't know if you can do that. I think you're going to have to split up into 2 different sides, 2 different cities, or maybe even 4 different sites. So I just don't see them doing that. Because remember, they're gonna in that situation, they're gonna have to reseed like hockey. And if you're reseeding like hockey, you don't know who your second round opponent is going to be. So you all have to be in that same area.
You don't think, Dave, that they could do it kind of like how the Olympics do it, like have you use multiple stadiums, whether it's because there's going to be no fans. So let's say they do it and let's say they do it anywhere. You can use college campuses. Like if you're in Arizona, or Las Vegas or Florida. Like let's say they go to Orlando. You know, you can use where the Magic play. You can use Florida State University. You can use there's facilities, like, you know what I mean? We're not talking about fans anymore, right? So that doesn't necessarily have to be in one arena.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible. I mean, you know, you just got to think about, you know, there's a lot of things, you know, that come into play. Obviously, the logistics part. You know, where is everybody going to be staying? You know, hotels, transportation. You know, again, you know, the quarantine. So it's a lot to think about. So I mean, I think it's definitely possible, but you definitely have to have a really solid, tight plan down pat, in order to keep, you know, safety of the players. You know, keeping them, you know, free of this virus. And like Pete said, I mean, you know, you don't know who wins. I mean, I think anything's possible, especially because there's not going to be any fans, like you said, Vic. I mean, you could literally, I mean, man, you could play this thing in a park if you want.
That's what I'm saying.
I know it's not, you know, but I think that would be kind of cool if you could, you know, get that, you know, if you could get away with that about, you know, doing it in different, you know, scenarios and different areas of play. That'd be pretty cool and it'd be different. So I think anything's possible at this point, guys. I think whatever, you know, but the biggest thing is the safety of the players is going to be paramount to anything.
So now, since we're more inclined to know more about basketball and hockey, I mean, I'm gonna say I love hockey, but I don't know, you know, what these other people really know. So I just wanted to see where the Rangers would fit up. How about we do a little stupid hot take? Who's in the NBA Finals come August, Pete?
Here we go.
You go, Dave, number one.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go Lakers, Bucks. How about that?
I'm gonna go that they do the round robin style tournament, and it's gonna be Lakers versus Clippers. Book it.
I like that one.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with a little bit of a different take and say Clippers versus the Sixers.
The Sixers.
Yeah, because I've heard everybody's been saying that they've been working out together and they've been.
Joel Embiid works out.
They got their chemistry now. Hey, listen, Joel Embiid gets hurt every year, but when he plays, he's good. So now all this time he hasn't had a chance to get hurt.
I mean, you said that they've been working out. I mean, Charles Barkley said Joel Embiid doesn't work out. I mean, we'll see.
I'm sure Charles Barkley will know that.
Now,
from the start.
Well, my man Charles doesn't lie, you know, so.
Not like Kendrick Perkins?
Not like Kendrick Perkins. Oh, my God. That guy. I don't know. I got an ESPN gig. I don't know, man. But we'll leave that for another topic before we go off on a major tangent, and then we will never come back.
We'll have fun for that one.
We'll never come back. But at the end of the day, NHL is back. Or it's going to be back. There's a plan in place. NBA working towards being back.
Yeah.
What is going on with Major League Baseball? Manfred, what are they doing? You would think because their season hasn't started yet that this would be the easiest thing to fix, Pete. What is going on?
I still think that they're going to eventually have it. I mean, it pretty much is a firm deadline. They got to get something taken care of the next week. I think they still will get something to because there's billions to lose in this situation. It's not just like millions. There's billions that's being talked about if they lose this whole season. So I don't think they're going to lose all of that. They're going to find some way, whether they let the players have the original negotiated price tag they were going to get that both had agreed to already. But there's no way they're going to let all this go down the drain like that. They have to find a way to get this done.
So, Dave, you know, players agreed to a prorated salary, which I thought is fair. I thought it's fair on both ends. But now the commissioner wants to cut salaries even more. What is this guy even thinking? Like, is he being so indecisive because of the Astros and Red Sox scandal? Like, he doesn't want to make the wrong move? Like, what's going on with Rob Manfred?
I think he's trying to play both sides, guys. I mean, I know that, you know, part of the verbiage in the contract was and I'm not quoting it verbatim, but part of the verbiage was they were going to have to revisit this later on. Listen,
How late is later on though? Like,
I want sports back just as much as you guys, but at the same time, guys, listen, let's just be honest here, man. The players have not been playing. They have not been playing, obviously. Have they been getting paid? Yes, they have. Now, not everything. They've been getting a prorated salary of what they've been getting paid, but guys, they haven't been rendering services, So they've been getting paid without playing. I think, listen, at the end of the day, this is bigger than them. This is bigger than the owners. This is bigger than the players. Listen, at the end of the day, they have to come in the middle. You're going to have to give a little to get. So, both of them really need to, just get their head straight, come to an agreement, meet midway somewhere. So, because, when you talk about money, man, and that's what they say, right? Money is the root of all evil. And it's kind of shown here. On both sides, too. And again, I'm going to say it with the owners, too. You're right. You guys are right. Like, the owners really, you have to make all this money. So, but at the end of the day, it's going to either have to come out of their pockets or it's going to have to come somewhere. And it is a business. I don't own a business myself, so I can't say how it is to run a business. But you got to make smart business decisions. That's what they always talk about, right? Making smart business decisions. I just hope that, again, cooler heads will prevail. They'll come to an agreement, both come midway, and we'll see, man, because I think we badly need baseball back.
As bad as we need baseball back, I'm going to disagree with you on one thing, and that's with the owners. If prorated salaries isn't the way to go, then I think that's just bullshit. Like, you're already prorating the salaries to however many games they're going to play this year, and that's fine. Like, I tweeted today that the Yankees made $400 million last year net profit. That's net. That's after all expenses are paid, like $400 million. And you're telling me you can't pay prorated salaries to players? Like, you want what, 50%, 60%, 70%? I think it's bullshit. And I think Rob Manfred's a joke. How no, like he's just a joke. Like, how no one from the Astros, Red Sox were suspended, like the players, is beyond me. And I just think he's a joke, and I think he's bad for baseball. And Pete, if this comes out that they don't have a season this year, will it affect baseball like it did the '94 strike?
Yeah, I do, because if you see all the other sports coming out and actually returning, finishing their season and getting ready to start the season, and you guys can't get your season down locked, and you guys weren't affected at all as like the rest, because the rest actually started a season and had pause in the middle of it. So you guys could have just started from midway, July, whatever, August, and go from there. So if you guys kind of get that started, people are going to go towards and put you in the background. And that's what happened back then. I think the same thing happened again.
And I don't think there's a Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire to save their asses this time.
Yep. You have to find a way to juice up Mike Trout so he can hit 70 home runs.
Yeah, you put some more juice in him.
Oh.
Whoa. Did I just say that? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I like Mike Trout. He's from Jersey, even though he's from the south part of Jersey, so technically Philly. But whatever. Now, La Liga announced that they're coming back.
Yeah.
Premier League announced that they're coming back. Bundesliga announced that they're coming back. I'm going to tell Rob Manfred, if freaking football in different countries can come back, how can baseball not come back?
Everything.
Like, especially if your plan is you can play in Florida and in Arizona where spring training sites are anyway.
Yeah.
So you would start the season there anyway until everything opens back up. So you're going to have spring training, right? You're not just going to, like, come back without – I mean, obviously it's not going to be spring training now, but you're going to come back. You're going to have summer training, and then you're going to jump into the season.
You have to.
So if you're going to be in Arizona and Florida anyway, I don't get it, man.
I mean, the only reason all this happened, because once again, the owners agreed to this amount. So the owners agreed to the amount, the players agreed to this amount. The only reason why they're even trying to push this now to change it even lower is because there's not going to be fans, and that was their fault. They negotiated already, and they had that as a possibility. All right, if it happens, they negotiated and they screwed up on their deal. So it's the owner's fault. They shouldn't be trying to go back on the deal that they pretty much agreed to already.
That's amazing. Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, I hope I get to see some Yankee baseball, but right now it's not looking good. So NHL.
If they do start in the middle of the season, it helps out the Yankees. All their players.
Of course.
By
Of
that.
course. Our boy James Pass gonna be back. Judge will, be off the HGH, things like that, man. I'm sorry, I'm on one today. I don't know.
He'll never be off of it. You see his arms?
Come on, dude. He's a football player in baseball. He's a football body and a baseball player, bro.
All right.
Unbelievable. Last thing we're on today, Last Dance documentary. We didn't get a chance to talk about it last week. Episodes 9 and 10. Basically, the end of it all, Pete. Michael Jordan, the flu game. Michael Jordan winning his 6th title. This documentary was basically about Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't know why they made it about anything else.
Him.
So, since you guys are both Michael Jordan fans, I am too, but you're both fans. What'd you ultimately think of the documentary?
Lord.
I don't know. Yeah, I said Pete.
You can go, Dave. You can go, Dave.
I said Pete, but Pete
Right.
apparently thinks
I'm trying to pass it. I'm trying to give it back. I stole it from him before. I'm trying to give it back.
that's amazing.
I like the documentary. I thought there was a reason why everybody was watching it, not just because that there was no sports, but also because it was something that was interesting. It brought fans that haven't seen Jordan before, that are maybe 21 years old, 25 or whatever, and they didn't really see the prime Jordan and see how dominant he was. I thought a lot of people got a chance to see how the old school basketball was played, with the people getting thrown into the crowd and people getting elbowed in the air, and they wouldn't even kick them out of the game. So I thought it was good overall. I thought it was a good documentary, and I think it was good for sports overall.
Dave, the real Dave.
Yeah, listen, guys. I thought it was definitely, and again, I am a Bulls fan at heart. So, I mean, you want to call it bias, you want to call it whatever. Yeah, I mean, I grew up loving Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. I thought it was a great inside look, man, onto the years. To see Michael grow as a player, not just as a player, as a person, man. I mean, because that trip that he took, from when he entered the NBA, to the end, was just an incredible trip. Obviously, there were some troubling times down the road, and it was just kind of crazy to see the different phases of teams and different phases of how he was as a player, man. So, and like Pete said, it really gave you a good look at some of the players that maybe the youth don't know. Obviously the youth know LeBron James. They don't know guys like Scottie Pippen. So it was pretty cool to teach the youth about that. But I thought they did a really good job with the documentary, giving an inside look on Michael Jordan, his life, not just on the court, but off the court as well.
Dave, if I was here, he would have gave you the Academy Award song. Not only because you gave the speech.
He wrapped it up for everybody. I love the Rodman stories, though. I got to say that. I love the Rodman stories. The one where he went to Vegas, and then the one.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
Championship win that. So Rodman stole the show with his stories.
That was nuts.
All right, real quick, I'm going to spend a minute on this, Pete. Flu game. Did you think it was food poisoning? Did you think it was flu, or was he hungover? I'm going hungover.
I think he was hungover. I do.
Pizza.
I don't think there's no way you're gonna make up a story where 5 guys are delivering a pizza and you're still gonna eat the pizza. No, yeah. And you're gonna eat the whole pizza? Nah, he was hungover.
I don't think he was hungover. I don't think.
Oh my God!
I mean, at least sick from the pizza. I mean, I think he was really sick. He did.
So you telling me it took? It's 96. It took 24 years for us to make up a pizza story. That was the best he could do.
I never even heard the pizza story back then.
No
one did either. He just came up with it now.
That's crazy.
That was bad.
No, I don't
He
think.
should have came up with like somebody drugged him or something. Like, there's no way the pizza story works.
Unless the pizza was old, and a couple days old, and then he picked it up and ate it. I mean, but nobody's gonna get sick of pizza. All
right. So, last thing we'll talk about before we go, Isaiah Thomas. Audio came out that Michael Jordan said that if Isaiah was on the team, he would not be there. Pete, defend your boy because I'm pissed off right now. Isaiah should have been on the team.
Good. I want Isaiah on the team. Isaiah should have been.
Wow, that's it? That's the best you got? My God, you're such a Bulls fan.
Yo,
Amazing.
come on, man. Listen, if the best guy in the world wants something for the dream team, you're gonna give it to him.
Unbelievable. Dave, man, defend your boy. Defend your boy. Go
Well,
ahead.
listen, I mean, yeah, he should have been on the team. Let's be honest here. I mean, he even said it himself. I mean, one of the best point guards, ever in the game. I mean, he should have been, but politics obviously play a big role in sports, man. Unfortunately, so you give MJ what he wants, man. So he's the best ever. Go.
Listen, you guys are both Bulls fans. I'm Rusty Slide. That was a bullshit move on Mike's part. Put the hate aside. Isaiah should have been on the dream team, not fucking Christian Laettner, and not a fucking. He's better than John Stockton. Let's be real here. We're about to go, but before we go, obviously check out my new video, Big Manic Vision, where I break down top 5 sports views based on Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan. And we'll be back next week, hopefully talking about the NBA, talking about Major League Baseball, and maybe talking some football, the European version. That's it. That's it for us. We're out. Peace.
All right,
Later,
guys.
mi gente.
Zoom, make your shows longer.